So if you clicked on this thinking it's some weird hookup video, it isn't. However, if you're looking to acquire some new clients on the gym floor, keep watching. And yes, the title was intentionally provocative. For many of you, the thought of starting a conversation with strangers probably makes pretty anxious. For many of you, you aimlessly roam the gym floor on a daily basis, hoping a member's going to come up to you and ask you for some personal training. In today's digital society, basic communication skills are lacking, and making small talk with strangers is frowned upon to some degree. Believe it or not, this kind of small talk serves important functions in human interaction and could well be the difference between you having a thriving one-on-one coaching business or you having to change career in the next few years. So let's take you through some basic steps. Step one, the icebreaker, right? Personal training is intimate and personal, and it involves relationship building. So there needs to be a foundation on which you can build that. So we have the name game. If you don't know someone's name and they don't know yours, the likelihood of any meaningful conversation or relationship being built is pretty much zero. A simple way to do this is to start a conversation and share your name. Tell them about yourself and offer a friendly handshake. This is particularly useful if you don't have any other conversation starters to rely on. Simply say hello to as many people as you can in your facility. Make eye contact. Greet them by name. If you don't know what that name is, ask. For example, "Hi, Dave. Saw you when you checked in and just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Phil. I'm one of the personal trainers here. And if I can help you with anything on the gym floor or you were looking for any coaching, here's my card. And feel free to reach out. If you don't have a card, just tell them to give you a shout, but you lose multiple opportunities this way. A business card is an old school method, but still works to this day if it's implemented well. Also, almost guaranteed, high net worth clients will love the hustle, and unlikely any other coaches are doing the same. Remember that when that client gets home and starts to think about it, do I want some coaching? Do I need some coaching, etc., etc.? If you've told them to give you a shout when you're on the gym floor, chances are you might not cross paths for weeks. And in that time, they've decided they want some coaching, and you've instigated that, and they go to somebody else. They need a direct point of contact in which they can drop you an email or WhatsApp or whatever it might be to say, yeah, I'd love to take you up on that offer. I'd love to do some coaching with you. So cards are good. If you have a front desk in your facility, when you have a minute, spend some time there and take the time to talk to people coming in, or use it as a place to learn people's names. You know, if you use an access system, you're going to have people swiping and their names are going to come up on a screen. You know, use that as a tool to learn people's names, try and memorize something about them. The next time you see them on the gym floor, go up to them and say, you know, and tell them how you knew their name. You know, I saw you check in Monday. Also, network with your front of house staff. Make sure they also know who you are and what your skills are. This will often get, it'll often get you a bunch of clients because they will often be the first port of call as people come in, and they'll get asked about coaches within a facility. Make sure you're at the front of their mind. If you have some spare time and see any front of house staff training, offer them a free coaching session. If it's good, they'll rave about you to everybody that walks in the facility. Wear a name badge. Look, enter any 5-star business in the world or 5-star service in the world. The people curating the services all wear name badges so customers can greet them by name. If I'm in a restaurant, I will always greet my server by their name if I can see it. Immediately, they'll instinctively treat you better. Project positivity. You know, even though you're nervous, approach any conversation with a positive attitude. This means assuming. So just assume the best in others and trust that your interaction is going to go well. This will put your mind at ease, and, you know, especially if you're feeling anxious, and make you seem more approachable. You know, project your positivity through relaxed body language, smiling, eye contact, and remember that it's largely an irrational fear. Coaches are by default intimidating as you're in an environment where your level of comfort is like a beanbag and your clients is like a Shakti mat or a bed of nails. They're more scared of you than you are of them. So remember that. Level 2, step 2, the conversation piece. So once you've broken the ice, it's time to find some common ground and shared interests. Start with a compliment. You know, there isn't any better way to project positivity than to help someone feel good. And that's the business we're in. You know, we're in the business of making people feel good about themselves. If you're not used to handing out compliments, it might feel awkward at first, but a little flattery can help diffuse tension or apprehension that they might have about you. The way to make this comfortable is also to say it how you would say it. You know, not the way you read it or it's written or it's planned or whatever it might be. These work just as well, even if you don't know names yet, and can equally work as an alternative kind of icebreaker. Just make sure you follow it up. So you could say, you're making some incredible progress. Name. You're getting much stronger. Name. You're looking super well. Name. What have you been doing? You're working so hard. Super impressed. You should absolutely enter a competition. All of those things, if there's something personal. I love your car. Something that can instigate a mutual interest. The biggest shared interest, beyond anything else that you have with them, is that they're in front of you and they want to initiate a positive change on their mind and body in some way. That's why they're at a gym, right? The fact that you have the skills and willingness to do that is a massive shared interest. Everything they want, you're there to give. Learning to have great conversations with anyone will help you make new professional relationships, find new clients, and feel more comfortable in social situations. If you feel you lack skills in that area, no better place to practice. To succeed as a one-on-one coach, you can't always depend on others to make the first move. It's a lot like dating, right? Eventually, you must hone your social skills and approach people yourself. So keeping the conversation going, how do we do that? The real trick is to listen actively to the person you're speaking to and adapt to what they're saying to put them at ease. Ask plenty of questions. Look for conversational side doors. A conversational side door is an opportunity to branch off from a topic based off something they said. Listen closely and look for comments that likely have some depth and perhaps a background story. Look for shared interests. Do you play any sport? What team do you support? What is it you do for work? What's the plan for the weekend? Master that art of listening. Waiting for a pause before asking questions. Asking for details is a good way to keep a conversation flowing, but it shouldn't be at the cost of interrupting their current train of thought or changing subjects. Let the conversation ebb and flow naturally. Pay attention to non-verbal cues. So much of communication lies in what isn't said. A simple twist of the body can indicate they want to exit the conversation. They're not comfortable. So it's up to you to notice and respond appropriately. And again, make them feel comfortable. Level 3. Now, this isn't for everybody. Peacocking. So it needs to be understood. But this is getting towards true mastery, not only as a coach, but someone who has confidence in themselves and their abilities. There's a fine line between arrogance and confidence. And on a gym floor, and in other places too, this can often be all too apparent. Arrogant people believe, or at least come across like this, that they're better than others. They insist on correcting people and believe that their way is the only way. It's black and white. There's no room for any grey area that can be open for discussion. This falls under a number of other personality traits, but is often a result of a defense mechanism used by an insecure mind. True confidence is rooted in empathy, positivity, and optimism. All things that are solid traits of a good coach. Remember, empathy, positivity, optimism. All things as a coach you should have. It's a level playing field. We've got to remember that too. We're all equal. This helps not only with empathy, but also personally, it can help you deal with clients you're perhaps intimidated by. You got that high net worth client, you got that celebrity client, whatever it might be. It's a level playing field. We're all the same. We all want the same thing. As we've already mentioned, listen some more, and spend time making eye contact. Let people talk. Be aware of your weaknesses just as much as your strengths. We all need to work on some level of self-development. And show a level of vulnerability and admit your past wrongdoings or mistakes you've made. Let your accomplishments speak for you and for themselves. Final step, just do it. In the vast majority of cases, the reason these strategies fail is quite simply you just don't do them. This is a step out of your comfort zone you need to make if you want to build relationships, pick up clients, and develop your one-on-one coaching.